Good morning. Every week there's progress, which is good, which is really good. Um, Me and Imtiaz had very nice meetings last week. I like it when I start focusing on each individual. Right in the last few months, I really like Yash was a bit off trajectory. Now he's back. Khalid is back. Tanveer Zara, like so few. So I like the fact it's a very weird. Okay, thank you. Hi, Robert. So last week I had a very interesting meeting with Imtiaz. I think Imtiaz is the next. He's getting on that trajectory of Khalid, which is fantastic. It's nice. I had a very interesting meeting last week. So one of my investors, I've known this investor for about 4 years, and he's from Peru. He in 2016 he sold his house and bought Bitcoin with all the money he had. Sold his house and with all the money he had Bitcoin. So you guys can imagine how rich he must be. He built a company from zero, from scratch to $20 million. He's got a huge crypto network in Mexico and in Colombia. And he got me also into part of the network. It's a network called Smart. So I was also so this is another thing, slowly you guys will understand. So I was investing in his network. He was, we had a great relationship, And after some time, what happens is you start bonding as a family as well, So first I met him, his wife, his mother-in-law. Then later, about 2 years ago, he had a son. So we started connecting as families. He has a beautiful house in Macedonia. I'm coming to a point. This house on a mountain, beautiful house, But then about 2 weeks ago, he comes to Dubai. He loves Dubai Creek Harbor as a location, so he's moved in over there. And he told me, Zohaib, I want my son to grow up in Dubai, because this guy's been all over the world, He's traveled all over the world. He's like, Zohaib, I want my son to grow up in Dubai. Look at this place; it's beautiful, He loves Krika, like I said. So when he goes out over there, he meets different families. He's like, see, Macedonia is beautiful. The oxygen is great, the nature, the mountains. But I'm like, what is my son seeing? What is he interacting with? What is he growing up to be? I want him, when I started, look at your kids, your stories and stuff, it's like, man, I want him to grow up in an environment like this, And then I asked him, because what are you planning to do in Dubai? He's like, man, I want to get out of crypto and stocks. I'm sick and tired of sitting behind a laptop. I want to do some business. I'm like, hey, why don't you do business together? And he's like, bro, that would be an honor, but what would I do? And I'm like, hey, we could do like a 3x Mexico. Gringo, why not? And then he's like, but how? So we started discussing, we had business plans. So I got in a meeting I pulled in a few of my consultants. We had like a nice meeting. And this guy's like, man, this is amazing. Because I told him, the minimum, if you figure this out with me, okay, the minimum we're looking at is around $100,000 every month. And that's like rock bottom, if we structure this the right way. So, but then the most critical point, which somebody asked me, okay, who asked me this? I think Khalid asked me this. He's like, Khalid was like, Zohaib, you're going to India, setting up something in Pakistan, you're doing some Dubai hustle, you're doing orders with your wife, you're running 3x Capital, you're trying to do something in Singapore. Now you're telling me Mexico. Are you doing too much? Like, will you be able to handle all of this, Like, or you, because we'll end up losing that Zohaib. And I was like, see, listen, guys. So two things, okay? One is business is about people, if I'm doing Dubai hustle is because I have faith in Gibran. Because he is that hustler, and this is a requirement. People need that, It's not just sometimes about real estate, buying and selling businesses, subleasing. Last week, what we were brainstorming, we were like, hey, okay, let's suppose this conflict happened, okay? Every time there's a conflict, every time there's some big disaster in this world, okay? When COVID happened, okay, markets crashed. But there were some industries that made a lot of money. Sanitizers, masks, skincare, drop shipping. These businesses, Amazon made a killing, right? So we were like, okay, in this market, real estate, right? In this market, where is the opportunity? So the ports are shifting towards Fujairah. So why don't we look at commercial opportunities and the line from Sharjah? No one's thinking in this aspect, right? So now we're going to put all those So it's like, so I'm doing Dubai hustle because I have faith in Gibran is that guy, who can get those deals, People want to set up businesses. People want ROI from now. If I'm setting up something in Pakistan, it's because we know someone's there, and someone's managed the whole thing. See, it's about those people. So that's point number one. Ernesto, I've known him for 4-5 years. I understand his potential. I understand his bandwidth. I understand his network, And so I'm like, that's option number one. Option number two, which is probably the most important part, is that people who chase money can reach only so much, okay? But you should be chasing power. What I'm chasing is power. Because if you chase power, money will come. What I want is dominance, What I want is power. When some people, they just come, there's an impact, Maybe I'm not there now, but, it's spreading, People are seeing, people are like, what the fuck is this guy, How is he doing, What is he doing? I don't care. I'm not begging for attention, because I know I am getting there step by step. I'm in no rush, because no one can think the way I think. No one is thinking the way I'm thinking, So what I am chasing is power. I'm not even chasing money at this point. I am putting all the money on the line, because once you have power, why do you think so? If you're going to India, we're trying to meet the top politicians. In Mexico, this guy's trying to connect me with the top politicians. In US, we're connecting with the top. On Saturday, who I met? Somebody from NVIDIA. We have an investor from NVIDIA. Now, technically, we have investors from NVIDIA, Amazon, we're partnering some from Google, Deloitte, BlackRock. I mean, the top companies, anyone with half a brain cell, because we've been so diligent, so it's step by step, right? It is step by step. So, point is, that's the mindset I'm suggesting all of you to have as well, See, if you guys chase power, it's, if that's going to give you that drive. Because maybe money's not powerful enough to drive you guys, It's not powerful enough to wake you guys up. Like, see, every day, I don't know, having that same routine could get boring, right? If just money is your motivation, maybe that's, but if your motivation is power, to fight against, if someone's disrespected you, if someone has, I don't know, discrimination, if you want to fight back, if you want to gain that power in life, man, nothing is going to motivate you more than that, So for me, every single day, like, see, I don't need, like, it's not like when the alarm rings, I'm like, oh shit, I have to wake up. No, I'm up, man. There are days I'm exhausted, like that day, I think I left the office on Friday at like 9 p.m. I was telling Imtiaz that today I have a call at 11 p.m. in the night. I have a meet. It's a live meeting. It's an in-person. At 11 p.m. Okay. So point is that, why I'm never tired? Because, I don't forget. I remember every single disrespect. I remember that this is a fight. It's not for money, it's for power. So that's the thing. I really wish, I really hope you guys develop that kind of energy in you, where because then every time there's an opportunity, you won't feel like resting because it's a fight for, I don't know, respect. It's not money anymore. It's the whole dynamic changes. So my YouTube algorithm had messed up a little bit, and now it's back on track. So I understand my mindset, because it's like I know that okay, I will use this opportunity. So I was like brainstorming on what video to make. So I know how to make what video to get what kind of clients, But in case you guys want to take advantage of a situation like this, when there's an opportunity like this, it would be an interesting idea. What I would have done if I were in your situation, I would organize data. Like for example, Shobha is a product that is very famous in all countries. I would have taken US data, or maybe Indians are a lot harder. Whatever data you're comfortable with, whichever data you're come up with a pitch, and just go bang at it. Anything you need, like see, if you need data, if you want phone credit, I don't know what you want. I mean, that all of that, there's support from, and it's such an easy and it's a great opportunity to connect as well, right? Good afternoon, hi, I'm Cindy. I'm calling on behalf of Shobha. We have a very exciting plan. You only have to pay 20% down payment for the next 3 years. 80% is on handover. That means for a 2 million dirham product, you're paying what? 400,000 dirhams next 3 years. The opportunity is fantastic. Can I send you some? Can I send you some options? This is one pitch. I can come up with 3 to 4 pitches. And that's it. It's like what a 10-second pitch. This is what everyone's doing over there. So basically, at Shobha, they take a big round table. Everyone shares calling sheets, and everyone is just going bang, bang, bang on the phone. I've done it when the first, I don't know how many years of my life. The first 6 years of my life, every day I should do 200 calls, because that was a given. In previous real estate companies, if you don't do that, is part of your target. Weekly targets. We used to have weekly targets. Every day you had to complete 200 calls. If you don't do 200 calls, you have to justify it with your deals. See, I'll tell you what you've missed. Okay. Apart from the opportunity to make money, this was an opportunity to connect with investors. Means, see, it's a great opening call. Hi, we have a fantastic offer. You're only paying 20% in the next 3 years. It's a great opening. Anyone with a little bit of money. Okay, an example, Ernesto. Okay, Ernesto is moving from Mexico. He wants to set up a business. If Ernesto gets a call like this saying that, hey, I just have to pay 400,000 next year, it's nothing for them, We can play on leverage trading because the entire US, Australian, European markets, they work on leverage and debt. So if you sell debt to them, they'll buy it. It was a great opportunity to connect with investors. So is it that if I give this entire pitch to you guys are going to follow it? Or is it that you don't want to follow it? Because see, you need to ask yourselves, are you guys in the right industry as well, right? Because see, this industry has a lot of money, but for the right mindset. It has crazy money. I mean, like I said, there's no other industry where you can make this kind of money. I mean, we make more than CEOs, CFOs, most businessmen, but we make for a certain kind of mindset. Do you have that mindset? It's something you should ask yourselves. We're going to start lead generation this week as well, right? So Letty is Meta certified. So now I'm going to actually start building a funnel and start our own Meta generated leads as well. So I think we can target products. What products do you think this week we should target? Okay, Rob, this is the interesting part for you. Okay, Lunaya, then Portside, Ellington. See, See, I have a very different but a very interesting pitch, okay? And Rob, this is very interesting for you also. I have stock, okay? Now listen to my pitch, okay? Hear my pitch, okay? So I met a Chinese billionaire, okay? This Chinese billionaire has a beautiful office, retail space in Business Bay, okay, with valet parking, okay. This guy is going around and picking up all commercial plots, okay, in suburban areas, okay. Now, currently he has picked up a lot of plots in Varsan 4, okay, especially near the metro station. Now, his target audience are startups and SMEs, okay? Everyone knows what SMEs are? Okay. Now, when startups and SMEs come onto the market, what are they focused on? Lowest rents, lowest priced commercials, okay? This guy is going to launch at 1400 dirham per square foot, okay? There's nothing cheaper than 1400 dirham per square foot. You can see the building, okay? Now, what is Varsan for bordering with? Do you know? Silicon Oasis, okay? Samir lives in Silicon Oasis. If anyone wants to know more about Silicon Oasis, please ask Samir. What all is coming in Silicon Oasis? AI companies, startups, Emirates Aviation, Emirates IT department. How many employees of Emirates? Around 30,000 employees of Emirates. Elon Musk with his AI companies are setting it up in Silicon Oasis, multiple startup. And see, what is the beauty of Silicon Oasis? So all this is together, right? Silicon Oasis, DLRC, all of that, it's a mass market, right? So there are schools over there, universities over there. So anyone who wants to come and start up, see, what is the whole concept of Dubai, that we're attracting a lot of global talent, right? So anyone who comes from across the world, okay, they come and see the offices in Silicon Oasis, what are they going to find? Cockroaches and rats. Really ugly buildings, you know. Like if you go, especially if you go to International City, go to Silicon Oasis, the buildings are so old and so worn down. But you know what rents these offices are going at? They go starting from 140 dirham per square foot all the way up to 200 dirham per square foot. In Silicon Oasis, if you do a little bit of due diligence, you'll find out that that market's running. Nowadays, you'll find a lot of real estate companies also buying floors in Silicon Oasis, right? Initial startup real estate companies are all trying to take up over there. Except us, we've got a little class, it's different. You know? Because it was really cheap, you know, very attractive. But, you know, I was like, it's because we're not a startup, all right? We're not a startup. If we were starting up, I would have considered it, okay? And plus, see, our goal is world domination. So, you know, I need an address, okay? Did you guys see the new office? I mean, has anyone? Yeah? It's crazy, you know. Like, can you imagine the videos over there? So we're looking at like half a floor in Maritime City. Your views are the yachts, the sea, the bird skyline. It's insane, you know. It's insane. First, a round of applause for that, you know. So what does this mean for 3X Capital is that we can dominate. I think we're one of the first real estate companies to take like more than half of, it's actually more than half a floor. More than half a floor in Maritime City. Means when Marcasa is handing over, when Anwa Arya is handing over, when RYM, each building is handing over, our people are going to be there in the building and we're going to like sort of dominate these areas. Maritime City and RYM is ours. That's it. You know, we're going to like put the flag there, like nobody moves. I'm going to bribe every security guard. I'm going to pay them so much of money that, you know, they will all be working for me. Yeah. like I will make sure that Maritime City and RYN is mine, you know, and ours. You know, nobody can enter that arena because, see, it's very difficult for a real estate company to open up a license in these areas as well, you know, so it's not going to be easy for them to take up such spaces. So point is, at 1400 dirham per square foot near the metro. I think so. I'm going to start some market because in my I mapped all the commercial offices in UAE. Videos has gained a lot of traction. I started getting a lot of feedback on it, and so now and in that I really spoke a lot about suburban markets. Okay, that it makes a lot of sense. I've spoken about targeting the right profile before entering an office investment. You need to understand your exit strategy. And I've spoken a lot about, I even spoke about waterfront core business districts. So I gave an example of basically Marina Plaza and Dubai Marina, how it's performed. So based on that, I told that, hey, products like maybe 31 and above is a fair comparable. So Marina Plaza, the prices have touched, very few commercial offices prices have touched above 4,000 dirham per square foot. So in Business Bay, Bay Square is one of that example. It's gone up to 4,500 dirham per square foot. The buyer of this office, okay, the new buyer, an Ethiopian guy, he owns around 10 to 15 offices. He's a constant buyer of commercial. His last office in Bay Square, he leased it out to an AI company at 400 dirham per square foot. But he gave it fully fitted, So even this office, he's now targeting around 400 dirham per square foot. Hence we're leaving. So point is that, but see, we made good friends with this guy, and and we're offering some opportunities, So I think this is one product that I'll be targeting. Okay, you guys can do some research on that. Luna is interesting. Valia, okay, Valia is interesting. I think we can no. People who like Abu Dhabi and Sharjah are a completely different audience. They don't like Dubai. So I think see, we can definitely talk about it, and we can give that angle as well. See, anyone who's considering to move to Dubai, okay, this thing in the future. See, I'll tell you the angles we can talk about. RTA is working on the traffic situation between Dubai and Sharjah, right? Sharjah, the cost of living is a lot lower. The schools are cheaper. The schools in Dubai are too expensive. Not everyone can afford them. The grocery is cheaper. The lifestyle is really good. It's a dry state. There's no alcohol, and that's a big. I know it's a negative for some people, but it's a big positive for a huge audience. So if we talk about these positives, that's a great place to move. It's a great starting point. I mean, I think. Yeah, I think we can. So I think okay. So wait, Arantia. Okay, the next launch. You can start lead generation on that. Arantia, the pitch is the next green district, the future green district of UAE, So opposite, you've got Gafoods. We can understand the pricing of Gafoods. We've got Barari. You've got Aldar Wilds. And there's a plot. So this is the most important pitch, okay? That plot, it's potentially the extension of Dubai Hills. And if it could be either or. If it's an extension of Dubai Hills, it becomes the next Emaar Hills. The plot is owned by Miras or Emaar, any which ways, right? But once Nakhil, Miras na, Dubai Holdings, okay. The plot is owned by Dubai Holdings. So point is that once that plot is developed, imagine that stretch of land: Dubai Hills, Emaar Hills, Aldar Wilds, Barari, Gafoods, Arantia. So this is how you have to pitch it as a green district. Let's say, what is the difference between Heartland and Creek Harbour? One very core critical difference, because the prices per square foot were very similar when sold, okay? When initial sale, prices per square foot are Heartland and Creek Harbour, the same price per square foot and off-plan. Huh? Heartland is higher.
Creek it's workable, so you have a lifestyle. In Shobha, you just go and exit.
So, one very critical difference is that Shobha sells their retail. Emaar never sells their retail. Okay, so you can use this pitch to sell Arantia. That Beyond is not selling their retail. They're going to manage their retail, and so that's going to help maintain the because see, whichever developer never sells retail. Here we go. See, so this is a question you guys should ask any developer. If they have retail, you're going to ask them this. Are you selling the retail, or are you going to manage it yourself? If they say they're going to manage it themselves, that kind of elevates the entire community. So that's another pitch you have for Arantia. Another pitch you have for commercial is that, this is a great statement, okay? It's always worked for me. One of the number one points of Abu Dhabi, when anyone is selling Abu Dhabi over Dubai, It's about the pitch about supply, right? Dubai, the supply is like maxed out, and then Abu Dhabi is like the new Dubai, and that's the pitch, right? Then let's give them. So I think there's a product that people are missing out, because see, Abu Dhabi, the demand is yet to come, right? As of now, the demand hasn't arrived yet, but the presumptions and the data shows that there is a strong demand that will come there. Okay, but it's based on predictions and speculations, right? Dubai has demand, right? Clearly, Dubai in terms of demand beats. Okay. Commercial supply is so less, what, 3%, right? So why don't we look at then, if you're an investor, why don't we look at commercial opportunities? Because all these, then we get more into numbers. All these people who are moving into Dubai from every part of the world, there's a millionaire migration happening. They have to come into some sort of a business. All we need to do is match. Like, we need to understand which target profile you're trying to attract. If you're trying to lease to a grade A commercial opportunity, then you target the your core CBRE, right? Your business bay, your DIFC. But then if you're looking for an initial startup, you want to put your money into commercial, we can give you other opportunities as well. So that's a great pitch. That entire supply pitch, scarcity pitch. See, the second you pitch scarcity, your investor is interested. The second you say, hey, I'm going to give you a product that is extremely scarce in the market and there's very high demand. Boom. That's it.
Any guess for the consultant of the week for week 1? Yeah.
Saman.
First position.
Oh yeah, Khalid. I forgot. Nowadays, Khalid is beating Saman. No?
Yash.
It's again same name.
Zara? Oh! मैंने बता दिया. पैसे बाद में देना.
Second,
Khalid.
Yes.
please.
Yeah, wow, I'm getting good at this now.
Please, Khalid.
Yeah. See, Khalid is on fire. I know this, Khalid is on fire.
Wallet.
Nice.
Recall.
At
least you started.
He's on it, I know this, Khalid is unleashed. I've unleashed the beast.
That's it. Okay.